Big news today, Apple and Broadcom. Now, Broadcom's been one of my favorite stocks for a while. I've owned it since December of 2018, and I've added a couple times along the way. So there's lots going on with Broadcom. Not only is this Apple news today big, you also have the VMware acquisition, which we'll talk about later. But most importantly, I think that Broadcom is an under-the-radar AI stock, and the company could benefit substantially from artificial intelligence. So we're going to talk about that on this video today. I'm also going to show you valuation, tell you my thoughts about the stock overall, and we're going to look at a chart. So is Broadcom stock a buy now or something to add to your watch list? Let's find out. So you can see Broadcom's up about 25% year to date. Over 1 year, it's up about 32%. In the last 5 years, it's up over 175%. Current market cap is $290 billion. It has a PE ratio around 23. Dividend yield, 2.64%. So still pretty solid. Now the 52-week low was 415.07. That would have been a strong buy. Today it's trading at 694, and the 52-week high was about $699. So here's the announcement from this morning. Apple announces multi-billion-dollar deal with Broadcom for US-made chips. So this deal is part of their 2021 commitment, Apple's 2021 commitment to invest $430 billion in the US economy. So this will include FBAR filters and other wireless connectivity components according to the release. These components are different from the 5G modems that are made by Qualcomm. And what's interesting about this announcement is usually Apple keeps this kind of hush-hush. They don't really announce these type of partnerships. So there's an assumption there that maybe they got a pricing deal and that part of the negotiation was Broadcom could make this public. It's hard to say. I'm just speculating. The company said the deal with Broadcom will allow it to invest in critical automation projects and upskilling. And Apple already supports more than 1,100 jobs in Broadcom's Fort Collins, Colorado manufacturing facility. So this is big news today, but I think AI is even a bigger story. And we've covered Broadcom several times throughout the past year as a top stock to buy, especially on their dividend stocks to buy. Every month we release a new video. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel and click that bell for notifications. Next week we'll have a video that comes out for top growth stocks to buy, as well as a video for top dividend stocks to buy. Before I get into Broadcom's AI capabilities and why I think it could be a big play for them, I want to provide you a quick overview of the company because there's a lot going on at Broadcom. So if you look at their 2022 revenue, $33.2 billion in FY22, that's net revenue. And Broadcom spent $4.9 billion in R&D in FY22, 17,000 plus patents, 22 category leading semiconductor and infrastructure software divisions. So this is not only a semiconductor play, but also a software play. So if you follow Broadcom, you know they've made lots of different acquisitions. The one that comes to mind first is CA Technologies in 2018, also Symantec in 2019. So if you look at their revenue by segment for 2022, semiconductors here in the red, infrastructure in the blue. So on the semiconductor solutions, more of the hardware side, think networking, broadband, server storage, wireless, industrial. On the infrastructure software, think mainframe, DevOps, cybersecurity, and more. So this is going to be important later when we talk about AI, but when you look at the data center hyperscalers, the service providers, and enterprise, think networking and high performance connectivity. And Broadcom's really about hybrid, so both on-prem as well as the cloud. End-to-end solutions for both businesses and customers alike. So wireless mobile device connectivity, everything from Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, charging, and more. So industrial, think of factory automation, EVs and renewable energy, and automotive in general. So in the enterprise solutions, cybersecurity, identity management, payment security, lots of things that they do that you might not know about. And you can see the revenue and gross margin has been slowly and steadily increasing over the years. Also been growing the dividend. So FY16 to FY 2023, the compound annual growth rate, 38%. And Broadcom has a strong leadership team led by Hock Tan, president and CEO. You've probably seen him on TV before. So Broadcom is well positioned for the future in many of those secular growth trends that we talk about. I want to cover AI specifically. So Broadcom has several different components here, but one is called AI Ops. So what is AI Ops? Powered by advances in AI and ML, machine learning, automation and data science applied to the wealth of monitoring data within IT. AI Ops helps organizations derive actionable insights from application, infrastructure, network, and user experience monitoring data to deliver superior digital experiences to customers, employees, and partners. So here are some of the capabilities. You think service observability, actionable insights, intelligent automation, and customizable dashboards. And this right here is even bigger for AI in my opinion. This is news from April 18th. Broadcom unveils industry's highest performance fabric for AI networks. So this is called Jericho 3 AI. So when you you think of artificial intelligence, you need these huge data centers to program these language models. And you need those servers to connect to each other and also to the web. So cloud operators will upgrade AI infrastructure to address the massive growth and bandwidth driven by a new generation of high capacity GPUs. So they don't build the GPUs like NVIDIA does, but they connect those GPUs together. So Jericho 3 AI offers high bandwidth, low latency, and low power choice for networks connecting tens of thousands of GPUs, revolutionizing the economics of building and maintaining AI clusters for this exciting new era. And this is best of breed when you think of connecting those GPUs together. More information. So Broadcom's new networking chip called the Jericho 3 AI is designed to connect supercomputers and features a high-performance fabric for artificial intelligence AI environments. This is not getting the attention that it deserves, and I think probably because it's misunderstood. So Broadcom has 3 switch families. The high-bandwidth Tomahawk switch platform used primarily within data centers. Then they have the lower bandwidth Trident platform, and this is really more suitable for the edge. And then you have the new product series, the Jericho line, which sits somewhere between the other two and is best suited for lower latency interconnects. It has built-in congestion management capabilities for load balancing and minimizing network congestion. This is going to be critical when you think of AI applications, generative AI, Bard AI, ChatGPT, and so on. So we're talking about supercomputers here. And you think about it, not just AI, when you think of quantum computing in the future, these guys are the leader. Broadcom is the leader. It's going to help connect all those different devices and data centers and supercomputers together. This article talks about NVIDIA and some of the competitors that are coming up. I did call out sustainability as a big focal area and something that they're going to have to watch because GPUs are a bit of power hogs. So even though they're very energy efficient compared to older models, they make them more and more efficient. They still suck a lot of juice. But with the Jericho 3 AI, Pat, they're saying that the fabric offers something like 40% power reduction, lowest power and cost optical interconnect, 25% system power reduction against pluggable optics. And this is big. So while Broadcom is not making GPUs right now for AI training and interface, we can't forget about the fabric, how fast data can move. As such, a key and critical part of success for this technology is going to be something like Jericho 3 AI. And Broadcom, if they can offer more efficient, lower price product, will be very attractive to a number of different companies. And this could be a really exciting product for Broadcom and another competitor that NVIDIA is going to have to be watching out for. Broadcom is an absolute connectivity beast of a company. Definitely looking like a mini skirmish or mini war of skirmishes is coming on the network side. And it makes perfect sense also why reinforcing one of the reasons that NVIDIA bought Mellanox, which is essentially to partake in the revenue and be on the edge of creating training and interface clusters. And you've got AWS playing in this field, talks about Microsoft, talks about Google. There's lots going on right now with AI. Now, I think NVIDIA is still going to be a player, but Broadcom, the thing is they're coming after NVIDIA in certain areas, and you can use NVIDIA GPUs and still connect all those different GPUs and supercomputers and data centers using Broadcom's fabric. So 2 red flags for Broadcom's future. Let's keep this neutral. I don't want to be biased either direction, even though I own the stock. What are some risks here? So this was in early May before the news today, but it talks about Broadcom's relationship with Apple. Apple accounted for 20% of Broadcom's revenue in fiscal 2022. So this is Broadcom's top customer. So now Apple's going to be giving them even more money. If that goes away, that is a risk. That's always going to be a risk for any of the suppliers that you own that are related to Apple or any other of those big companies like that. So the good news is it looks like Apple is continuing to renew those contracts, but longer term, this could be a risk. Another risk could be the VMware acquisition. Now, this could be looked at as a pro or a con depending on how you try to slice it, like anything. So first, what can a combined company with Broadcom and VMware deliver to customers? So when you think of multi-cloud solutions, so VMware is going to help out a lot in the software side for Broadcom. Cloud native applications, pricing, and really just having that one throat to choke so you can work with one vendor for several different areas. And of course, this Jericho AI deal can relate to that as well. So they're really building a solution. They're building a stack. They already have a stack and they're rounding it out more in cloud and in data center. And right now the VMware deal is coming under some scrutiny and it might not get passed by antitrust, which could be a risk. Now on the flip side of that, they're paying $61 billion to acquire VMware. So it's one of those things where if it fell through, the stock could actually react positively in the short term. That's a lot of extra cash that they don't have to spend. Now long term, I think VMware would be a good play for Broadcom. And so just yesterday, this deal has been extended now to August August 26, 2023. The previous deadline was May 26. So of course, CEO Hock Tan thinks the deal is going to get done. Regulators stand in the way of that ambition. The UK Competition and Markets Authority has initiated a stage 2 probe. It expects that will conclude in late August. The European Union recently extended its provisional date, but essentially they're having issues with this acquisition and it might not get approved. So of course, when you look at analyst price targets, they don't mean you should buy or sell a stock off that information, but I like to use them for sentiment. So you can see there's 17 ratings rated as a strong buy. Highest price target is 775. The lowest price target is 600 with the average at 700, 250. Not much upside from here. So next, let's look at valuation and also a chart, and I'll provide some thoughts for you of where I would buy the stock. Before I do that, I need to announce that this video is sponsored by the Motley Fool. If you'd like to see the 10 best stocks to buy now, visit fool.com/firedupwealth. A reminder, Motley Fool doesn't tell me what videos to make, which stocks to cover. They're a great partner, and check those guys out. You can also join us in our private community, Patreon and Discord, by visiting patreon.com/firedupwealth. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, click that bell for notifications. And if this video is helpful, drop me a like and a comment. I appreciate you. So Broadcom's low is October 13th, 2022 at $415.07. The high was just here on May 23rd, $698.99. Right now, according to Fidelity, 22.81 PE ratio. Pays you a 2.71% dividend yield, so pretty solid yield. And it's a mega cap, about $285 billion. It only has about 1.49% short interest. Now, if you look at the growth metrics for Broadcom, it's pretty solid. You can see EPS growth 57%, 69%, solid numbers across the board. Let's look at valuation. And before we do that, free cash flow, $16.9 billion. Price to sales, 8.11. Price to book, 12.14. PEG ratio, you want that usually 1 or less. More expensive stocks, often 2 and 3. This is at 2.75. Now, with that said, this year's estimate for PE is a 16.4 and next year's only a 15.5. So we do chart day every single Wednesday in Patreon Discord. Anytime you see orange, that's a previous chart day. Yellow is today's chart day. You're not going to see any yellow because I'm just going to explain it to you here on video. And you can see we were recommending this stock in Discord at this $415 to $420 level back in October 2022. And we've done a great job following this stock all the way up. The last time we did chart day was a few weeks ago. We said, wow, 605 support, you might see 660 plus on upside. So it went from $415 to 621. That's the day we did chart day, was $621. Now it's trading at $692. Now these are Fibonacci's, so you've got your resistance and support. You can see it's above everything. Just like NVIDIA that we talked about yesterday, this one's running pretty high. Not quite as hot as NVIDIA, but it's running pretty hot. So it's really hard to buy when you're up in these levels above the R3, this resistance 3. So this level here is $667, $665. And generally you want to buy, in this green area or this red area, and you want to sell when it's up in the blue and red up here. This is a Fibonacci retracement. So this, like several different semiconductor stocks, could start to see some compression here. You could see it consolidate and maybe trade a little bit lower. Now, the problem when you have these really strong bull runs, one thing I want to make sure I announce, semiconductors generally lead the market both ways, and you're definitely seeing that here. You saw semiconductors get absolutely hammered last year, go to levels that you probably didn't think you'd see, and now they're running a lot hotter than you probably imagined they would in the amount of time they've done it. You're talking about here October, again, this is another, 7 months or something. It's gone from $415 to $692, almost $700. And this is a high-paying dividend stock. This isn't a hyper-growth type stock. So if you're looking to buy Broadcom, the question is, where should you buy the stock? Now, of course, I'm not a financial advisor and I can't tell you what to do with your money. If it were me, I'd probably want it closer to the $650 level. It might not happen. The thing is, if the market stays hot, names like this could run higher, especially as you get catalysts like today with the Apple news. So me personally, if I didn't own the stock, I'd probably put it on my watch list. I'd be interested in adding it if it came down to at least, $675. I prefer it $650 or less. Again, that might not happen. If you really like the dividend yield and you're going to hold this for a long time, I think the stock will be worth a lot more in 5 to 10 years. And you collect a nice dividend along the way. But there are some risks. For example, the VMware deal, if that falls through, if Apple doesn't renew the contract down the road, and so on. But it's a high quality company, amazing balance sheet, amazing free cash flow, solid dividend. I like the stock at this level. I don't think it's a buy hand over fist type of a stock at this price, but it's also not crazy expensive either. I personally, though, it's a hold for me, and I would want it to dip a little bit if I were going to buy it as a new position. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe, click that bell for notifications. If this was helpful, drop me a like and a comment. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.